Secretary of State Antony Blinken is set to address the UN Security Council next hour over fears a Russian invasion of Ukraine is imminent, despite continued Kremlin claims to the contrary. Pentagon correspondent Cammie McCormick.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin at NATO headquarters insisted the Russians are not withdrawing, but in fact inching their troops closer to Ukraine's borders.
We see them fly in more combat and support aircraft in their readiness in the Black Sea. We even see them stocking up their blood supplies.
Austin said this is no sign of de-escalation.
You know, I was a soldier myself not that long ago, and I know firsthand that you don't do these sort of things for no reason. And you certainly don't do them if you're getting ready to pack up and go home.
Russia has more than 150,000 troops along Ukraine's borders.
CBS News has learned Russia has delivered a response, a written one, to U.S. and NATO proposals on European security in Ukraine. There is no word on what that response is. An embattled Russian figure skater has just had a tough time on the ice at the Winter Olympics, now with no chance of medaling. CBS's Steve Futterman from Beijing.
The investigation of Kamila Valieva is far from over. It's going after these Olympics. The International Olympic Committee, the World Anti-Doping Agency, and the International Skating Union have said they felt Valieva should not take part in the women's figure skating competition.
A winter storm is on the move through this nation's midsection. Weather Channel meteorologist Jim Cantori.
Kansas and Missouri right now with 1 inch per hour snowfall rates. That is all heading up toward Detroit as we get into this afternoon.
A loud protest in Tallahassee early this morning as Republicans in the state House passed after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
The sergeant will restore order in the gallery.
The bill heads to the state Senate next. A shift in gender identity is growing. CBS's Jim Krasula.
7% of U.S. adults now identify as LGBTQ, according to a new Gallup poll. That's double the percentage from 2012, when Gallup first measured identity. Much of the increase is being generated by young people. 21% of Generation Z Americans, those born from 1997 to 2003, identify as LGBT.
Overturned a law used to prosecute transgender people overseas. Here's correspondent Elaine Cobb.
The court said it violated Kuwaiti's rights to personal freedom. The law gave the authorities free rein to stop and arrest people whose appearance did not match the gender marked on their official ID card.
This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection.
Does this sound important to you?
Succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
For most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or us will be glad we took just a few minutes to get our lives in order.
Reduce or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will contests. Plan for the event of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Reif. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Check out Jerry Reif for yourself. Go to jerryreiflawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryreiflawyer.com, or call Jerry Reif at 989-1461.
I provide legal solutions for a changing world.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, GW News.
Cloudy skies and 31 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Barcia. Saginaw Public Schools will have a bit more help dealing with COVID-19. Here's WSGW's Rick Antonio.
The district welcomed 2 liaisons from the CDC and 1 from the Saginaw County Health Department this week who will handle virus testing and contact tracing, allowing staff and administrators who had been aiding with those services to focus on other areas needing attention. Leanne Bauer, Executive Director of Special Education and Student Support Services, who oversees the Before the welcomed help of the liaisons, the district had been doing a good job of handling the virus. Superintendent Dr. Ramon Roberts adds that statistics published as of last week's school board briefing session say no SPSD school has been closed this school year due to the virus, and attendance has been solid enough to prevent any major loss of state funding. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Saginaw Township Community Schools has released information for those interested in running for 2 open seats on the Board of Education. Both are 6-year terms that begin January 1st, 2023 and run through December 31st, 2028. The seats are currently held by Michael Colucci and Eric Smith. Candidates are required to file nominating petitions and affidavits of identity with the Saginaw Township Clerk's Office by 4/26th. A $100 non-refundable fee to the township can be paid in lieu of a signature petition. Interested candidates should contact Saginaw Township Schools for more information. Fire crews in Saginaw Township responded to a fire last night. Saginaw County Central Dispatch reported the fire in the 2700 block of Shattuck Road around 9:45. The fire occurred in a garage at the home. There are currently no reports of any injuries or amount of damage sustained in that fire. WSGW News Time 9:07.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you is for our members because it's about you always.
Recently, I was working with a member to purchase an auto loan and saw an opportunity to help them save some money. By refinancing their credit card debt, we were able to save them over $600 a month. This is one of the many ways that we deliver outstanding service to our members.
Delivering marvelous experiences, saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or their location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. These are actual examples of savings and not guaranteed in every situation.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. Authorities investigating former Michigan House Speaker Lee Chatfield want to search the home of Chatfield's brother. The Detroit News says a search warrant document shows Michigan State Police are asking for Aaron Chatfield's cell phone. His attorneys say the warrant doesn't mention any criminal activity. Investigators raided the former aides earlier this week. The former House Speaker is under investigation for alleged sex assault of his sister-in-law starting when she was 15 years old. Chatfield has denied those allegations. Based on a decline in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations, the state health department is withdrawing the public health advisory on masking in indoor public settings, including schools. Here's more from health reporter Dr. Deanna Lights.
Now entering what's being called the post-surge recovery phase. The state health department is recommending school districts determine mask policies based on what's happening in their area and on health department. During this phase, the state health department recommends that all individuals, regardless of vaccination status, continue to practice universal masking in high-risk crowded settings, including long-term care facilities and healthcare facilities, and during isolation and quarantine periods to stop further community spread of COVID-19.
A 17-year-old Lansing girl has died after being shot several times yesterday. Lansing police say officers arrived on the scene and attempted first aid until Lansing Fire arrived and took the girl to the hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. Witnesses say the shooting was related to an argument and led officers to a nearby address. A 20-year-old man has been arrested. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect until midday. Your forecast for today shows isolated snow showers with cloudy skies and a high of 31 degrees. Going into tonight, we'll see more isolated snow showers with cloudy skies and a low at 10. We're looking at new snow accumulation of 1 to 3 inches possible. Friday will be mostly sunny with a high of 26 degrees. And as we go into Friday night, we'll see isolated snow showers with cloudy skies. And southwest winds gust up to 30 miles per hour. And Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 24 degrees. I'm meteorologist Amanda Edwards with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently 30.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. On 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning to you. Welcome back. Another edition of the Art Lewis Show coming to you from my Saginaw Spirit home studio, and our program brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all your residential and commercial real estate needs, put Linda to work for you by calling her at 989-295-7713. Or stop in and see her at The Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, the former ISD building. And while you're there, stop into Cafe 476 with this delicious soups and foods and beverages waiting for you. Later on this morning, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia, get an update on Bay County. At 11 o'clock, Focus with Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. We're going to talk about umbrella policies and liability insurance. But for this hour, open phones, which means whatever you'd like to chat about. 989-752-6111. 989-752-6111. You'll notice the 866 number has disappeared. We no longer use it because it's not necessary. If you call 989-752-6111, carriers don't charge you long distance and roaming pretty much anymore. So you're making a free call. So there you go. Give us a call, whatever's on your mind, whatever you'd like to chat about. I saw a headline which brought me back to one of my favorite all-time pieces to read. That is the quote on democracies by what's attributed to Alexander Fraser Tytler. There is some controversy as to whether he really wrote it or not, but I don't care because the words are so good. But what caught my attention was this headline: Inflation can be the way democracies die. And that was written by Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger is the second in line in the Warren Buffett empire. As a matter of fact, he's been identified as the man who will lead Warren Buffett if Buffett steps down or passes. What I don't understand is it says here that he's 98 years old. Now, you pick him as your successor at 98, that's interesting. But more important is what he says about inflation. He points back to the Roman empires and places like that where constant and increasing inflation brought down the empire. I imagine it could aid in doing that. I don't know if it could do it singularly by itself. I do think some of the way government has acted lately and the way we've acted in response could do it. And I say that because of this quotation, which I will read again, and every now and then I pull it out and read it to remind ourselves of it. Tytler supposedly wrote, quote, "A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves largesse from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates promising the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that a democracy always collapses over loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations has been 200 years. These nations have progressed through this sequence: from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to selfishness, from selfishness to apathy, from apathy to dependence, from dependence back into bondage. So wrote supposedly Alexander Fraser Tytler. And it's interesting because in parts of that, where it says we learn to live off the largesse and we vote for the candidates giving us the most. Well, giving us the most from government can lead to inflation. And in the case of the structure of the U.S. today with the Fed, when they gave us all that money during the pandemic, the Fed cranked up the printing presses. Well, here we are at 7.5% inflation over year last month, 7% in December, so it's growing. Inflation is not declining. And we all know it. Every time we go to a grocery store, we feel it. And there's more than one reason. It's not just the fact that the Fed cranked up the printing presses. I mean, supply chain issues. The pandemic certainly has a role to play in all of that. But what is interesting is what's happening inside the Democratic Party because of it. Here are a couple of headlines. Why are liberal candidates losing elections in liberal cities? And vulnerable Senate Dems try to run as tax cutters. Think of that now. Well, what's happened in the liberal cities, and we'll use San Francisco as an example because they just recalled 3 progressives from the San Francisco Board of Education. Can you imagine this? In San Francisco, probably one of the most liberal cities on earth, they found those 3 board members to be too liberal, too far to the left. They wanted to rename schools. They wanted to change the admissions policy to one of the most iconic institutions in San Francisco. It's one after another, and it is not the only place where it has happened. In Minneapolis, voters rejected a ballot measure to replace the city's police department with an agency that would have focused less on law enforcement, a progressive idea. They voted against it. In Seattle, voters elected Ann Davison, a lawyer who had recently quit the Democratic Party because she thought it had moved too far left. And she is now the city's top prosecutor. She beat a candidate who wanted to abolish the police department. They weren't having it in Seattle. In New York, voters elected as their mayor Eric Adams, a Democrat who revels in defying liberal orthodoxy. As a candidate, Adams promised to crack down on crime. Since taking office, he signaled his frustration with COVID restrictions. And in the Democratic leading suburbs of New Jersey and Virginia, in New Jersey, the Democratic governor almost lost. And in Virginia, the Republican did win. So there is a sea change. And we've said it all along that we didn't believe that the progressive values were the values of this country. They wanted to move us so far to the socialist side. Well, apparently, many in the Democratic Party are viewing it the same way. And doing so with trepidation because they know the midterms are coming. And that could spell big danger for them. Let's talk to Errol in Saginaw before we take a break here. Errol, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Happy Person.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Yeah, well, I know. you realize you're going to bring back the DeLorean. Why can't they bring back the Corvairs and electric? Telling you about. You were talking about bright lights and how bright they are nowadays.
Oh, yes, the HID headlights, yeah.
You remember? Yeah. You remember when we had the cars that had two lights, a high beam and a low beam on vehicles?
Yeah. You still do.
Bright lights. No, well, I know, but I solved that problem by putting in two aircraft landing lights, one on each side. I did not have a problem with bright lights anymore. Okay.
And you never missed a runway.
Well,
you never missed a runway.
No, I did not. I never had a bright light in my eyes. Now, the other thing is, I know you watched the golf tournament last weekend.
Actually,
how did we get the stands full of pigs?
Say that again?
Okay.
I didn't watch the golf tournament.
Okay. Golfer made a hole in one.
Yep.
The stadium, the people were in the stands emptied all their trash out onto the golf course. And I'm wondering when we started that hobby.
I don't know. I didn't hear that. Well, I'll have to look it up.
Look it up. It was a golf tournament last weekend. It was my wife and I were sitting there. That happened, but they just covered that area with garbage, all kinds of garbage cans and everything else.
Really?
It was unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Take a look at it if you get a second, would you, sir?
So is that the equivalent of a hat trick where they throw hats on the ice? I don't know.
No, this was not hats. This was
yeah, I know.
Cans and everything else.
I have no idea. I'll have to look. I have no idea.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. I know other people have seen it too, so
yeah.
Have a nice day, sir.
All right, Errol, thanks.
Later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All right, quick break. We'll come back, get to more when we return.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paycheck. Monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data in unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Global markets are focused on what's happening between
and Ukraine. However, investors are looking at updates on the job market and housing, and the numbers are mixed. There were 248,000 new claims for unemployment benefits last week, an increase. Economists were predicting a decline, though the number of continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, dropped to 1.59 million. And housing starts, in other words, groundbreakings for new homes, declined in January. There are signs of optimism for the future, though. Building permits for new construction rose. Walmart shares are higher after its sales and profit came in stronger than expected in the holiday quarter, and it is predicted to profit this year. Walmart is also raising its dividend. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
On 9/11, 2,977 people were killed in terrorist attacks on American soil. And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's heroes and their families ever since. Our nation's heroes, people who put their lives on the line for our country and our communities, need your help. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good in their honor. Donate $11 a month at t2t.org. That's number 2t.org.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again. Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill. I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
On the next Markley, Van Camp and Robbins show,
Dr. Fauci says you may be done with COVID, but COVID's not done with you.
Pipe down over there, garden gnome boy.
Markley, Van Camp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Before we get to our phones, I looked it up. Sam Ryder, the golfer on the 16th hole, a 124-yard shot. He did it with a wedge and a couple of bounces and skipped into the hole. Apparently, there are stands with 17,000 seats around that hole. And when he got it in, all of the people in the stands, who many had beverages in their hands, threw them up in the air, and they rained down on the green. And the CBS gal that was there said, I think there's going to be a rain delay. And there was a 15-minute delay while they cleaned it up. All right, to our phones. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for welcoming me to the talking activities. Hey, on the inflation, I happen to be listening to one of the financial, was on Dave Ramsey or connected to, anyhow, they were talking about the inflation. And apparently food and gasoline are not included in the current
CPI, yeah.
Yeah, they're not included. When you put them back in, the inflation is actually 15%.
Yep.
Which is shocking to me, just absolute shocking. I haven't seen that in, I was in high school.
Jimmy Carter.
Junior high school when.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. And I was in junior high school back in them days. And we had the gas lines and the whole works. And I think the gas lines are coming back too because with the gas prices going up. I stopped into the grocery store the other day to buy cat food, and the pet pet food shelf area, almost barren. I couldn't believe it. There was half a dozen cans of one brand and maybe 6 or 8 of another brand, and the rest of the shelf was just empty. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Well, it's all over. It's not just
the dog
one
food
place.
area looked fine, but what's going on with the cat food? How come?
Who knows?
How come we got?
Who knows?
We're worried about cats starving or what?
Who knows? Can't tell you. But yeah, it's not unusual.
Just shocking. I listened to Tom Sullivan last night. He was very interesting. I guess their phones died. They couldn't get their phones working, and so everything was coming in through texts or
Been there, done that.
emails. Yeah. What an interesting. They must use voice over internet protocol just like what you guys use.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then that thing collapses.
Well, yeah. I mean, we live on technology. Yesterday, my signal went down for about a minute or so because the unit I use crapped out. So, you have to figure a way around it.
My phone runs over voice over an internet protocol too, because I'm talking on that right now. So that's how mine works too.
Yeah, well, a lot of them do. So, all right, good enough, Al.
Well, have a good morning, sir.
You too.
Thank
Thanks.
you for,
Yep. No problem. Take care. Bye bye now. And Chris is in Midland. Chris, good morning to you.
Hi. I just wanted to harangue Eric Adams that you mentioned earlier. He's whining about stories being written about him being racially prejudiced. So he come out and announced he wants black people to write about him instead of
I heard that.
He's playing the race card.
Yeah.
Playing the race card.
Yeah.
And, typical, I want to say typical liberal, but I don't know. I guess I said it.
Well, I think, I'm going to judge him. I mean, I thought that was a stupid comment myself, but I'm not going to judge him on that. I mean, I'm going to judge him on what happens to New York City. If it improves, then he's a good mayor. And if he takes care of crime, as Rudy Giuliani did many, many, many years ago, then he's a good mayor. If he doesn't, then he's not a good mayor. I think there are many, many issues in New York City need to be addressed. He talks the talk. Now I want to see him walk the walk. The rest of it to me is superfluous.
Well, I like a lot of what you just said. I just wish he wouldn't be spouting his mouth about maybe stupid things. And concentrate on what you just said. He should concentrate on and be a good mayor and leave all the other junk out of it.
Yeah, but listen, you're not going to change personalities. That's right. It's human nature. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I did think that was kind of a stupid thing to say. So anyway.
All right. Hey, thank you.
Have a good one, Chris. Take care. Bye-bye now. Let's talk to Tom in Cairo. Tom, good morning. Tom, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I just wanted to shed a little light on the older gentleman's question about the golf tournament last weekend.
Yeah.
I am a lifelong golf fanatic, okay? And
You're not alone.
That's at the Waste Management Open.
Right.
I believe it's in Arizona. I didn't watch the tournament either, but that 16th hole is the one place where the PGA has kind of let the fans go crazy.
Yeah. And they built the stands to do it. I mean, from what I read, there's 17,000 people can sit around that hole.
Yes. And very interesting about golf is the only sport in the world where they make them be completely quiet when one of these guys are shooting. But that hole is not quite like that.
Well, they weren't noisy when he was shooting, but after he shot it, they got real noisy.
Right. But I have watched that tournament before where they it's not like the normal golf tournament, and I think it's
no, and it makes perfect sense that they would throw their trash on the green at the Waste Management Tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Sometimes God delays golf tournaments, so this time man did it.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, I just I chuckle at it though. It's just You're absolutely right about the way we've treated golf fans and the way that they are, expected to maintain a certain demeanor, if you will, on the golf course. Golfers have the same restrictions and rules. And every now and then in a lifetime, a John Daly comes along or somebody like him and upsets the apple cart, and it's fun to watch.
Yes, John Daly.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, have a good day, sir.
Hey, Tom, thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Give us a call. Our lines are open. And again, whatever you'd like to chat about, we'd love to talk to you here on the Art Lewis Show.
Members First Credit Union is here to help you consolidate debt and get rid of your financial stress. Save money by refinancing high-interest loans or credit cards you have elsewhere with Members First. Pay them off with funds from a Members First Credit Union personal loan, or turn multiple due dates and payments into just one personal loan by consolidating your debt. Stop by one of the 11 Members First Credit Union branches or visit mfcu.net for details. Some restrictions may apply. Loan subject to credit approval. Federally insured by the NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. Deliver a lot of hay. ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
TrackBone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackBone's $40 unlimited talk and text smart. 8 gigs of high-speed data in unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing probes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
You have the chance to win a $500 gas card in the Forward Free Fuel February contest. Visit the Forward location on M84 in Bay City to register your name now through February 24th. On Friday, February 25th, during a broadcast from that M84 Forward location, one winning name will be drawn. The winner gets a $500 gas card. It's the Forward Free Fuel February contest with Forward, with you, and with WSGW.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
And we're back. Art Lewis with you on this open line hour, and we'll get back to our phones. Next up is John in Saginaw. John, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Arthur.
Morning.
I have something I think your audience of chemists in Midland may find interesting and amusing. Years ago, I had a old German chemistry professor who was really quite perceptive, and he had two things to say. One was when your problems are financial, the solution is chemical.
Really?
And the other thing he had to say was, and I'll try to mimic his accent here, when you have too much estrogen, you need more hydrogen. Think about that sometime.
How did he relate the chemical part of it?
Well, who knows? Who knows? That's the part of the brilliance that he had and I don't have.
Me too, because I studied some of that too, and that's funny. That is funny.
It's still a that's something I have to cheer you up a little bit this morning.
So the question now is, how do we take that information and use it to better society?
I'll leave that up to you, Arthur.
Thanks, John.
You're quite welcome.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Oh, my goodness. I like that when we get a little levity in there, too, because then you go back to what you were going to talk about, and it's not so. Although, I must admit, this particular headline, for the first time in a long time, is encouraging. Headline is, estimated 73% of U.S. now immune to Omicron. Of course, then they ask the question, is that enough? Well, apparently many school districts and many governmental entities around the country think it is, because mask mandates are dropping like flies. I mean, they are just disappearing. And apparently the Omicron that hit us hard because of its transmissibility also bolstered its defenses, leaving enough protection that we now are better protected against it. Immune systems now recognize the virus and fight it off. So maybe, I say maybe, not a guarantee, maybe we have reached the point in our fight with COVID-19 that we can get back to some degree of normalcy without masks and things of that nature. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Joe is in Bay City. Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
We're doing well, thanks.
All right. Well, I've got three quick subjects here, if you'll bear with me. Two will be light and one will be heavy for you. And let's go with the two.
I like that. I get the heavy one. Go ahead.
Well, let's go back to the golf course again. A little extra history on that hole. That hole is the only hole in the entire world that people are allowed to just go crazy. And of course, if you look at the overview of it, the hole, I mean, it's like a horseshoe, stands 3 stories high.
Yep.
And what's interesting is two things. One, as rare as that is, the next day, another golfer got a and an unknown golfer. I don't even know who he was. I mean, he's a
on that 16th hole.
Yeah,
on the same hole.
Another golfer hit the hole in one.
Did they react the same way?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know how you pop champagne in the bottles and spraying all over. That's what they did with their and everything when they threw it out on the course.
Well, I knew about the hole. I knew its reputation. I just not heard that, anybody ever throwing trash on a green like that before. So it was interesting to look it up.
Well, a lot of it didn't make it to the green,
right?
Close to the green, but it took them about 10, 15 minutes to clean things up.
Yeah.
So anyway, and Tiger Woods, he actually got a hole in one there himself, like the third year of his career.
Yeah.
And they played that back actually after this guy got it, but that was pretty interesting. And my wife, who, of course, are you smelling the coffee yet? She, when I was showing it to her, she says, "That's awful rude." I said, "Well, no, it's not rude because this is what they want. There's one hole in the entire world where people can just go crazy and the golfers have to put up with it."
All right, let me interrupt you for a minute, Joe. Hang on, don't hang up. I got to take a break, and I want to hear your other light one and then my heavy one. When we return, we'll continue our conversation with Joe.
Did you know we lose up to 20% of our home's heat through windows and doors? Let the experts at Westside Decorating show you how to keep your home cozy with insulating sheets and draperies. This is Sonia. Call us today at 989-793-6182 for your in-home consultation. We'll bring samples to you or visit our showroom and see our new flooring and carpeting options. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
Avalanche of cash is storming into Saginaw Eagles Landing. Every Saturday in February, you could win up to $5,000. Drawings are 1 to 9 p.m. each week, and every lucky winner will take home a cash prize, $1,000, or a cool $5,000. It's the avalanche of cash pouring into Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Let your fun out. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Superior Insurance Group, formerly Northway Plum Insurance and Henry's Wealth Solutions, bring you to the first annual Rat Pack Gala. We invite you Saturday, February 19th to get your tux and petticoats out for the classiest event of the year. You will enjoy cocktails, followed by a plated meal, dancing, and a show. Cash bar and dinner are from 5 until 7 p.m., followed by the big show from 7 until 10 p.m. During the big show, you will be transported back in time by a 17-piece orchestra and the Rat Pack. The event will be held at the Doubletree Place, Bay City, 48708. Tickets can be purchased by going online to theratpackgala.live. Individual tickets are $200 or $2,000 for a table of 10. The proceeds from the show will go to the Bay City Noon Rotary Charitable Foundation that focuses on youth and education in Bay County. Join us Saturday, February 19th for good food, great entertainment, and most important, a good cause. Visit theratpackgala.live for your tickets today.
The dangerous villain, Dawn, rules wheat fields more than ever before. In a secret lab, the world's greatest scientists at BASF work night and day to find a solution. Suddenly, a breakthrough. With 2 superpower ingredients combined, Super Spherex fungicide is born. Now, Dawn doesn't stand a chance. And the wheat farms of Michigan are safer once again. Always read and follow label directions.
Yes, I'm be with you shortly. Carrie, how many appointments did you book at 2:30?
Jin's physical therapy clinic is pretty stretched. He needs another PT before patients get bent out of shape.
You get fresh ice pack from Miss Davis's name.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Strider skates over, middle of the blue line. Feeds it over, right circle out. Cross line speed, a shot by Raymond. He scores! Power play goal, Lucas Raymond.
The Red Wings play 6:45 tonight on 100.5 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. And when last we left you, we were talking to Joe in Bay City. All right, Joe, continue on.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the chance to stay on during the break.
That's all right.
I like that. All right, so the second thing, football. Of course, football season's over, but I will say this about the Lions for me, fans. But you know, they only won 3 games, and but I'll tell you what, Art, I had more fun and interest in the Lions going 0-8 or 0-9 before they finally had a tie. I mean, I just felt there was something different about them, even though they were losing. I really enjoyed their season. I didn't enjoy them losing.
Yep.
But I just enjoyed watching them.
You know what? You're not alone. And I'll tell you what, most of those games, there are exceptions, but most of those games, they were in the game till almost the end. So it's not that they played bad football. They just didn't play it quite good enough to finish. But they're showing signs of improvement, no doubt about it.
Well, and they had, I mean, a lot of teams have a lot of injuries, no question about that, but they seem to have, I mean, their secondary was almost demolished, and and somehow they could still play like you said, practically every week and stay in it somehow. And you know, when they beat Minnesota, I was in my little man cave downstairs by my and they scored the touchdown with no time left, and I actually got up. I thought we won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that was
fantastic. All right, I'm ready for the heavy one now.
Okay, well, the heavyweight, I'm going to go back a couple of years when I talked to you during the first year of our governor's fiefdom, and I asked you if you could tell me anything that our governor has done that was good for the state, because I couldn't think of anything. And your answer at that point in time was, you said, well, it might be a little too early. Call me next year. Well, I waited too. I'm going to throw that question out again. I'm still looking for something that I'd like to say that she's done for the state. Now, can you help me out?
It might be a little too early. Call me in another year.
Oh. Well, I guess that answers that question.
Well, listen, if you look hard enough, there's always good. She has worked with the legislature better recently, and there have been a number of things that come through on a bipartisan basis that she's agreed to. But overall, I think you have to, when you look at any politician, you can nitpick on individual items all day. I say you have to look at the overall performance, not just, well, gee, has she done one good thing here or one good thing there? What's the overall performance? And I'm not a fan, so I don't give her high marks for overall performance, particularly the way they handled the COVID situation up front. But listen, the voters will talk come time for the election. It all comes to fruition. You either succeed or you don't, and if you don't, the voters let you know it.
Well, timing, but all of a sudden she seems to be more for the state now, and trying to work a little more since she's realized she might have some competition.
Well,
come election time.
That's normal, isn't it? Because all of a sudden you got competition. Now you got to figure out, well, how can I beat the competition? What does the public want? And you find candidates do tend to migrate where they think the voters are. And if she thinks the voters are more to the center than they are to the left, she's going to move more to the center. And you have to understand this about her. And I don't know her. I've never met Governor Whitmer. However, in talking to a friend of mine who was influential in the Democratic Party for many years, he told me that her and as a matter of fact, a couple of people have told me this, her reputation as a senator was someone you could work with. Both sides. They could go in and talk to her and she would listen, and they could work with her. So her reputation was that of a moderate. She got into office and something changed.
Oh yeah.
And and she wouldn't work with anybody. So it was a big change. Now she's moving back to where most people perceived she used to be. And I mean, if that's good for the state, that's fine. I'll accept that. If that's good for the state and she's going to do things that are good for the state, no problem. Go for it. But overall, I don't give her high marks.
Yeah, well, I think you're in the same boat I am as far as I'm going to parlay it into a song by YouTube and Bono, and I forget the exact title. I'm still looking for something I can't find.
All right, Joe.
All right.
Have a great one.
Good day.
Take care.
Thanks for the time.
You bet.
Bye.
Bye now. No, and that is the way I judge candidates when I go into a polling place. What have they done? Now, if it's a candidate who hasn't been in office, you can't do that, obviously. You can look at their past and make assumptions, which, by the way, is what a lot of people did with Whitmer. Gretchen Whitmer had a reputation as this moderate senator. So what else do you have to judge it on? And, and they elected her, but then she moved. So listen, in the end, I look back, I'd look at the whole picture and I say, well, do I want to vote for him or not? Tell you what I do want to vote for. I want to vote for you buying a car at the Thalen Auto Group because I know you can get great selection and a good price. You've heard me talk about them for years and years and years. Your one-stop shop right there on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. All the dealerships lined up in a row. Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. They're all there. They sell a lot of cars, and they take a lot of pre-owned cars in trade. They inspect them. They bring them up to their standards before they put them out on their huge lots, where you'll find hundreds of cars. You don't have to drive around to dealer to dealer to dealer. You can go to one place where all these dealers are side by side right there on North Euclid Avenue and literally see one of the largest collections in the Great Lakes Bay region of pre-owned vehicles. And you can also shop certified pre-owned vehicles from their marks, Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. You don't have to spend days going around from dealer to dealer. But if you don't want to do that, you can also go online, thinkthalen.com, and take a look at their inventory online. Remember, the Thalen family's been serving your automotive needs for over 45 years. And we'll be back to finish up in a moment.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bearded Axe in Saginaw. You are going to get half off of a 1-hour session of axe throwing for a group of 4. It's $40. They offer hourly times for axe throwing, ninja stars, and tomahawks. Bearded Axe is a local veteran-owned business. They're located at 4375 Bay Road. RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
That'll do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We thank you for participating and listening. Coming up, we're going to talk to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia. All of that ahead next hour here on WSGW, and that will follow the news, which is next. I'm Art Lewis. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The U.S. and NATO allies are on high alert this morning over the possibility Russia could invade Ukraine within days. President Biden addressed reporters outside the White House last hour.
Every indication we have is they're prepared to go into Ukraine, attack Ukraine.
Secretary of State Blinken will address members of the United Nations Security Council shortly. Correspondent Cammie McCormick.
The U.S. ambassador to the UN asked that Blinken come address the Security Council about the ongoing crisis. Linda Thomas Greenfield said this morning Russia is still moving toward an imminent invasion of Ukraine. She called it a crucial moment. A senior administration official says the Biden administration is ready for whatever Putin decides to do. The point of Blinken's appearance is to make sure the world is ready.
Russia expelled the U.S. number 2 diplomat in Moscow today. The State Department says it is considering its response. A 15-year-old Russian skater who tested positive for doping before the Winter Games began threw up her arms in disgust as she left the ice in Beijing today. CBS's Steve Futterman.
It was high drama inside the arena as Kamila Valieva performed her free skate. We were all wondering, would she buckle under the pressure? And in the end, it seems like she did. She fell twice. On a third jump, she had to put her hand on the ice to prevent an additional fall. And she ends up in 4th place. No medal for Kamila Valieva.
A winter storm is sweeping this nation's midsection, dumping snow and ice on parts of Kansas and Missouri. CBS meteorologist David Parkinson looks to the east.
The main story today is going to be the threat of tornadoes. That's going to be in the Mid-South, particularly in Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee, at least the western half of Tennessee.
Driving a car made in Japan? Lucky you. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert from Detroit.
Subaru is the top brand in the rankings that include reliability, safety, and comfort, with Mazda second. Jake Fisher, who heads Consumer Reports auto testing team, says half of the top brands are mass market.
Affordable mainstream models can really do just as well as luxury branded cars.
Buick finishing top among domestic brands at number 11.
The number of people signing up for first-time unemployment benefits was up just a touch last week. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick.
The latest seasonally adjusted new jobless claims rising for the first time in 4 weeks. New claims are up by 23,000 to 248,000. Analysts had been looking for a decline.
The numbers are still near historically low levels. The Dow is down 428 points right now. This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Our hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
One of my Wildfire coworkers contacted me after 5 p.m. one day. She was working with a member in a rush to meet with a seller of a vehicle she wanted to purchase. I double-checked her loan application right then. I emailed it out to her while she was on her way to the branch so that she could sign electronically. We had her check ready for her when she arrived by 6 p.m. Teamwork makes the dream work. For our member, the dream was finding a car, applying for a loan, and buying it in one day. And the Wildfire team made it work.
Saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Inflation just broke a nearly 40-year record thanks to Biden's out-of-control spending, and every second that goes by, you are losing more and more of your hard-earned savings. But you can fight back. Instead of letting Democrats treat your savings like their own piggy bank with trillions spent on their radical far-left agenda, you can protect what you've earned by converting your IRA or 401k into gold with Birch Gold Group. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bennett, and I'm one of Birch Gold's many happy customers. To learn how to set up your own gold IRA, get a free 20-page info kit when you text the word SHELTER to 989898. Gold-backed IRAs make it simple to ensure your savings will be there when you need it. A tax-sheltered account. No matter what happens in Washington, D.C., text SHELTER
to 989898 right now to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There's nothing to buy, no obligation at all. Text SHELTER 989898. Take action, do it today.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 31 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. The village of Chesaning filed a lawsuit against Greg Shankin, the Macomb County owner of a downtown building that collapsed in December. Here's WSGW's Ann Williams.
The lawsuit seeks a court order requiring Shankin to clean up the remains of the brick building and repay the village for costs incurred. Village President Matt Hoover said Shankin had ample warning and time to prevent the building collapse, but failed to do so. Village officials say they tried to have the building condemned and demolished in 2021, but Shankin challenged those efforts in court. Later, a back wall partially collapsed on December 22nd. They said the village notified Shankin, who failed to respond or repair the damage. The village hired a structural engineer who declared the building a safety hazard. The village then demolished the building to prevent further injury or damage. The lawsuit seeks reimbursement for the cost of demolition, fencing, and a structural engineer. It also asks for Shankin to be ordered to remove and clean up debris on the property, pay for repairs to a neighboring building, plus court costs and attorney fees. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
A nurse employed at the Saginaw County Jail was fired for letting an inmate touch her inappropriately. 42-year-old Kelly Jo Wright of Bay City is charged with second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a prisoner. Police say the incident took place January 10, 2021, after a surveillance of the act. Police became suspicious of Wright after male inmates began requesting to see her as their nurse. They say she would let the inmates touch her in a sexual manner. The 29-year-old inmate whom Wright is accused of having inappropriate contact is not being charged. Wright, an employee of a medical company subcontracted to provide services to the jail called Vital Core Health Strategies, was fired immediately following the incident, though a warrant for her arrest wasn't issued until more than a year later on February 3rd. She's currently out on bond and has a preliminary hearing March 2nd. WS 10:07.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection.
Does this sound important to you?
Succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
For most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or for a business, all of us will be glad we took just a few minutes to get our lives in order.
Reduce or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will conflict of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Rife. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Check out Jerry Rife for yourself. Go to jerryrifelawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryrifelawyer.com, or call Jerry Rife at 989-790-1461.
I provide legal solutions for a changing world.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Fremont, north of Grand Rapids, Randall Wright has taken a plea agreement in a sexual assault case. He was accused of inappropriately touching a woman on a bus trip to Detroit for a Tigers game with the Fraternal Order of Police in 2019. The victim said Wright was drunk at the time. Wright pleaded no contest to 2 reduced misdemeanor charges. He was fired as chief when he was formally charged. He'll be sentenced in April. The UP 200 sled dog race is back and will be held beginning tomorrow night in Marquette. The race was not held last year because of the pandemic. Darlene Walsh is the president of the UP Sled Dog Association.
We've had a few mushers who've not been able to make it still, especially our Canadian mushers due to the border crossings. But we've got some very competitive teams. The UP 200 at this point has 13 teams ready to run out of town and head for Grand Marais and back to Marquette.
Walsh says about 5,000 people will gather in Marquette to see the race kick off Friday night. She says there will even be a wedding on the track beforehand. She says a couple UP 200 as a qualifying race for the Iditarod. Plans are coming together on how to distribute $1.7 million from the Oxford Community Memorial and Victims Fund. A committee of 11 people working with managers of the National Compassion Fund has come up with a map of the high school that shows where students had to be in order to receive money from the GoFundMe account. The Detroit News says payments would be limited to those who were in one area of the school, which includes a hallway, bathroom, and classroom where the shootings occurred. Public comments on the plan or town hall on the proposal is scheduled for March 21st. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory is in effect for the forecast area. No showers here for today, otherwise cloudy sky conditions. Temperatures steady early, then slowly fall through the day. North winds are on 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. For tonight, a chance for some snow showers here, about an inch possible to accumulate. Cloudy skies, a low near 10 above. By Friday, partial sunshine develops, high of 26 degrees. Then by Saturday, partly sunny skies, breezy, high around 23. Sunday, partial sunshine again, breezy, high of 43. Wsgw with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 30.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. 989-295-7713 is the number to call to get her working for you in your residential and commercial real estate needs, or visit her at the Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, where you'll also find Cafe 476, all kinds of wonderful beverages and food and soups for you too. We're going to spend some time this morning talking about Bay County and how well it's doing. We're going to do that with the Bay County Executive, and we say good morning to Jim Barcia. Jim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. It's a real pleasure to be on the air with you again.
Always fun to talk to you. So the other day at the chamber, you gave the sort of the state of the county, if you will. So let's kind of recap that a little bit. If I said to you, Jim, how is Bay County doing as an entity? What would you say?
I would say we're doing much better, and we're moving a ambitious set of goals to improve in the long term the economic health of our residents in Bay County and ultimately the region. As you know, Art, I highlighted some of the investments that as a member of the board of directors, Bay Future and the Chamber of Commerce have attracted and lured to Bay County. So we're excited about the next couple of years and how we can transform, hopefully, our generation and attract new talent and a skilled workforce as well.
It's an interesting, almost paradox in a way that, you want to attract new business and more jobs, obviously, and improve the economic outlook of the county. Yet you also have to work within the framework of the state and the federal government and all of that. Does the county have a significant role in attracting business?
Yes, a lot of communities, compete. So it's not just the location, geographic location and the kind of workforce you have, but we're in competition with other states and other areas around the state of Michigan that provide inducements such as tax increment financing and the advantages of locating in an industrial park or a DDA as authorities that can confer, some advantages to that business should they make a substantial investment and create large numbers of jobs. For example, I'm really excited about SK Siltron. The phase one, $300 million and 150 new jobs, averaging about $76,000 a year with both healthcare and retirement security for those employees. That will be added to the 140 employees that existed that were purchased by SK Siltron from Dow DuPont at the former plant in Bay County in Williams Township. And this will be a new venture, and phase 2 could bring as much as $600 million and another 300 full-time jobs. Then in addition, we had $65 million addition to Michigan Sugar and a desugaring process that will make the sugar more profitable and secure, our agricultural base even more firmly, I think, into the future, as well as Williamson Minerals, a $150 million investment in downtown Bay City on the Saginaw River. And over the last years, we've struggled with COVID-19 and, the business closures and the impact that had on our economy. And so it's very important that we move forward. We have 4,200 small businesses or businesses in Bay County. We think we've lost about 100, but hopefully they will be replaced, and entrepreneurs who would like to look for opportunities. And so we can't afford to lose any more businesses in Bay County, and we want to strengthen and grow our economic base. So I appreciate you mentioning that.
Well, I sit here, I was listening to you speak about all these companies, and I'm saying to myself, about time we hear lots of good news, because we've sure all been through the bad news.
We have. We've struggled the last 18 mask mandates and, the testing in the schools and, the divergence of opinion, and depending on whether your parents concerned about the impact on your children or elderly who are immunocompromised, who, would like to avoid hospitalization, serious illness. So our health department has, been in the crosshairs kind of from both sides, but they've done a tremendous job and exercised, I think, good judgment and trying to take a moderate course to protect the health of our population, but also not to unnecessarily in people's personal space and their personal choice.
Let me ask this, Jim, because it almost goes hand in hand. If we have companies like the ones you mentioned, where there'll be 150 new jobs now and could be more later, you have to have housing. How is the housing situation in Bay County?
Well, it's what we're seeing is kind of a reemergence, Art, and I compliment the city and some of the developers, Jennifer Acosta and many others, but she's probably the most well-known, going into the neighborhoods and rehabilitating some of the housing, which is very affordable. Yeah. We've lost population, and that's the number one challenge that we face, is retaining our population. And instead of losing significant population going forward, we'd like to grow our population and sort of bend that curve a little bit. And we do that by having opportunities for people to secure employment that will allow them to purchase a home. If you're working for $10 or $12 or $15 an hour and you don't have job security, it's very difficult for a lender to lend somebody the money to. What we're seeing in Bay City is neighborhoods being revitalized, and our county treasurer, Shauna Walraven, is partnering with efforts in the city and Dana Muscat's staff to identify those properties and make them available to realtors or developers that will then spend money to insulate them, put new siding, whatever may be needed to upgrade the homes, and then sell them still at a very reasonable price. So, that's one strategy we'd like to see. We're also seeing, housing continue to be built around the county. Dips are doing very well. A lot of housing being built out in Williams Township and also Frankenless Township. If you get on Bay Road, you'll see a lot of newer housing out in some of those areas, and throughout the county too. Some subdivisions are going up with newer housing, and that's very welcome.
All right, hang on, Jim. I got to take a break. We're talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia. We will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care as soon as you need it. You can schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time. You can also call our customer service team to ask for information and get the help you need. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
Water stains on the shower glass. Try rubbing some shaving cream on them.
Tyler's cleaning crew knows every housekeeping trick in the book.
Handling timesheets now.
Proper bookkeeper to keep finances tidy.
New equipment is a business expense, right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again. Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill. I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower. The situation on Ukraine's border continues to weigh on investors, though Walmart reported upbeat earnings for the holiday quarter. Sales increased more than 5.5%, and Walmart is raising its dividend. There were 248,000 people filing for unemployment benefits last week, an increase from the previous week. Groundbreakings for new homes, in January, but building permits for new construction increased. DoorDash shares are rallying after the food delivery company reported continued strong demand for its service. Its revenue jumped last year, though data and software company Palantir Technologies reported a mixed quarter. And Visa and Amazon have resolved a dispute over fees. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Biden's massive spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your pocket. But you can fight back against runaway inflation by or 401k with gold through Birch Gold Group. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm proud to be a customer of Birch Gold. Join me. Birch Gold has created a free info kit on protecting your retirement with gold in a tax-sheltered account. Just text the words SHELTER to 989898. Text SHELTER to 989898 and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
W Morning Team Show.
Following Super Bowl LVI and the Rams win over the Bengals, highlighted by the play of quarterback Matthew Stafford, we show some love for Matthew. I mean, come on, is it not storybook? All those years that he told for our Detroit Lions, and then they trade, which is why they traded for him.
It is. Did you see, though, how many times in that drive how Stafford threaded the needle? I mean, and he managed to get it in there.
And how many times do we see him do that in Detroit? Last drives of the game. Well, congratulations to Matthew Stafford and family and all that.
A lot of Michigan-based fans seem to have wanted Stafford to win it, and kind of living through that as being our quarterback for so many years.
Kind of like had to watch Justin Verlander win a World Series with another team. We were happy to see him do it, but wished it could have been here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 1 year.
Maybe 1 year.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You have the chance to win $1,000 in the Cash for Couples contest. You can enter and get official rules online at WSGW.com. Scroll down the homepage and click on the contest box.
And we are back with you. Art Lawyer Show, talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia. We have a caller. This question actually probably, Jim, should go to Dana Muscat rather than you, because the caller wants to know when Bay City's roads will get fixed, as the roads are awful and it will be difficult bringing in business when roads are so bad. What do we do about local roads? I mean, as a generic question, it's not a bad one.
Yes, it's an excellent question. We have, Michigan has always been challenged, I guess, perhaps because we're a frost belt state, but also over when roads are good, we have a tendency not to invest in them until they get to a point where sometimes they're very expensive to repair. And I am pleased to hear that Bay City will allocate, according to Dana Muscat, on last Tuesday in her State of the Community address, mentioned that they would be spending about $10 million inside the city limits of Bay City to improve their streets. And that's welcome news for any of us, whether we live in the city or we don't. Good roads are part to growth and to quality of life in our neighborhoods, and people who visit Bay County, we don't want them to have an unpleasant experience traveling on, pot-filled roads and roads that should have been maintained and improved, for some time. But it's I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it with the ARPA funding. That's because there was a restriction on using ARPA funding for roads and bridges. However, I believe what they're doing is replacing some of the costs they had during the COVID pandemic to date with some of the replacement revenue, and then that $10 million would come out of the general fund. But I think that's welcome news for residents of Bay City, as well as those of us who work in Bay City and travel through Bay City, its neighborhoods and main thoroughfares on a daily basis.
How is
the caller has a key question. We cannot ignore our infrastructure needs.
Yeah, how is Bay County set up for roads? You have a road commission, and are they independent?
Yes, we do, but I don't have any influence or control. But I'm glad that you asked that question, because I also get frequent calls and complaints about the condition of roads, and I transfer those messages and concerns to Jim Lillo and our 3 elected road commissioners. The Bay County Road Commission is a separate entity. Bay County does not have a county employee at the Bay County Road Commission. For example, the Department of Water and Sewer, which actually collects the bills, but is an adjunct of a Bay Area Water Authority, 13 townships and 3 cities in Bay County that banded together. And Bay County doesn't own technically any roads or bridges or any water infrastructure. That is under the Bay County Road Commission, and we have 3 road commissioners elected for 6-year terms, and all of their funding is derived from federal and state gas tax revenue.
Yeah, that was my next question. It seems to me every time the state talks about roads, and Governor Whitmer was elected on Fix the Damn Roads thing, and then she came along with this proposal to get $3.5 billion worth of bonding from MDOT for MDOT, but it was only for state and federal highways. And it just seems to me we have neglected the local roads for a long time. Are we at a point where it's going to strictly be up to locals, maybe to pass their own bond issues or their own millages to take care of their streets? Or are we going to see some revenue sharing from the state that's going to allow the roads to be repaired?
Well, I would hope that the state of Michigan will invest in local and primary roads, those that serves our townships and the primary county roads that aren't state part of the state road system. The reason that the bonds that the governor had sold to invest in some of the work we saw this past summer and in the years going forward on the state highways is they're restricted by the Constitution. If it's state bonds, then money legally cannot be spent on local roads. However, eventually the state legislature is going to have to look at a better revenue stream to provide for our local road system in Michigan. As you recall, remember the governor started out with a 50-cent per gallon gas tax increase that would have generated a huge amount of money to improve all of the roads throughout Michigan. That no revenue increase ever passed the legislature for roads. So that's why the governor took it upon herself to sell bonds to finance improvements and repairs on the state road system. I believe at some point in the future, probably not this year, it's an election year, but probably at some point the legislature will have to look at, adjusting the revenue stream for funding roads. Now, one of the challenges that the legislature will face is, we hear every day how the big three manufacturers are continuing they seem to be on the path of phasing out, gas-fueled vehicles, petroleum-fueled, and going more toward electric vehicles. So that will be an interesting concept in terms of how we'll generate revenue for the number of electric vehicles that won't be petroleum that they currently do, and the volume of sales that and the tax that's collected on the sale of gasoline.
Would you favor a road tax based on mileage driven?
Well, you would have to consider what would happen with those who make their livings on the road. For example, traveling salespeople or people who have to be mobile throughout a large area that they cover, as well as, the increase in transportation costs. But that's one concept that has been discussed because, if you take, say, that only drive, 2,000 miles a year as opposed to someone who's driving, a sizable heavy truck and burning up the roads, you would have to take into account, I think, people's actual use of the roads. So, as we go forward, that might be something that would be on the table, and it might have to be absorbed as a cost of doing business if you're on the road continuously to make your living, or if you're transporting goods, throughout Michigan and the nation.
Let's talk for a minute about revenue sharing. Over the last number of years, revenue sharing has, as I understand it, revenue sharing has decreased. What's the fix? Do you think the state is going to take a look and increase revenue sharing again?
Yes, in the governor's new budget, we see she proposed a 6% increase across the board for revenue sharing to townships and counties, and that will be helpful in reversing the trend we've seen out of Lansing to continue to cut revenue sharing as they experienced an impact of COVID-19, and even prior, there wasn't a great willingness, I don't think, for local government, for our cities and townships and counties. One of the things I would like to mention, Art, is we're excited about, we're working with Representative Beeson and the chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, Tom Albert. And this is a little off track in terms of where we're going on transportation issues, but we've been in touch with Representative Beeson's office on a regular basis about securing one of the 7 locations to provide treatment centers for COVID-infected patients who can avoid hospitalization and serious illness by being treated early on with the advent of their symptoms. The new medications by Moderna and Pfizer, and also the the monoclonal antibody infusions have had a dramatic impact here locally. Some were being administered by MedStar, and some physicians are starting to, prescribe the medications for people with the onset of these the serious symptoms. And if we can get treatment to people quicker, we will hopefully be able to see a relaxation also on the masking and all of the testing in the schools and the things that concern so many of our fellow residents that are upset about after 2 years about these continuing restrictions. If we can target treatment for the minority of people who become infected, who become seriously ill, that will help us see a return to normalcy, and we're all anxious to do that.
Oh, you got that right.
It's divided families, and it's divided, neighbors and friends over masking and all of these other protocols that can be somewhat controversial.
All right, hang on. I'm going to take a break. We'll come back. We're talking to Jim Barcia. He is the Bay County Executive, and you're listening to The Art Lewis Show.
Your career takes flight when you join the winning teams at Soaring Eagle and Saginaw Eagles Landing. The premier gaming and entertainment destinations in Michigan are currently hiring for a wide variety of positions for all levels of experience. Visit us online at SoaringEagleCasino.com for a full list of openings and learn about all the benefits and the new $15 an hour minimum at Soaring Eagle Casino Resort and Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
Dutch Boy Platinum Plus. It's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that will transform your den with just one coat of salted lavender into a writer's sanctuary. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where you'll meet this guy
Hey,
who starred in That Thing.
now that's a twist I didn't see coming.
Only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically paint. Dutch Boy. Only at Menards.
Superior Insurance Group, formerly Northway Plum Insurance and Henris Wealth Solutions, bring you to the first annual Rat Pack Gala. We invite you Saturday, February 19th to get your tux and petticoats out for the classiest event of the year. You will enjoy cocktails, followed by a plated meal, dancing, and a show. Cash bar and dinner are from 5 until 7 p.m., followed by the big show from 7 until 10 p.m. During the big show, you will be transported back in time by a 17-piece orchestra and the Rat Pack. The event will be held at the Doubletree by Hilton, 1 window. 48708. Tickets can be purchased by going online to theratpackgala.live. Individual tickets are $200 or $2,000 for a table of 10. The proceeds from the show will go to the Bay City Noon Rotary Charitable Foundation that focuses on youth and education in Bay County. Join us Saturday, February 19th for good food, great entertainment, and most important, a good cause. Visit theratpackgala.live for your tickets today.
Your nose is the body's air filter, the first line of defense against airborne allergens, bacteria, and viruses. You wash your hands to protect your health. Now you can clean your nose with Navage. Online, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Here's NFL legend Terry Bradshaw.
This is it. Your last chance to win big money from Publishers Clearinghouse.
There are just days left to enter to win $5,000 a week forever on February 28th.
Yep, you got to enter PCH.com before it's too late.
Win and you get $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life.
Real people really win. It's your last chance to enter, people. Come on, let's go. $5,000 a week forever. Last chance. Enter now at PCH.com.
Entries due 2/26. No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited.
Hola, Carla speaking. Carla's Roofing Company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Nita Jose.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
To Sapovalov. Now Locust to Minchikov. To Sapovalov. To cross Locust. He scores!
The Saginaw Spirit begin their weekend by hitting the road this Friday night when they visit the Guelph store. Tune in for complete coverage with Joey Bottano and Dennis Drozier beginning Friday night at 7:15 on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. The Spirit Sting on Saturday night. Visit SaginawSpirit.com for ticket information.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on WSGW. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia. I want to take you out of the county just for a minute here, Jim. I've known you for a long time. I know your politics. You are a Democrat, but you also hold some conservative views on certain key issues. And you've always been recognized as someone who's willing to sit down and talk about issues with the other side of the aisle, if you will. What's happened to American politics today? What's happened to American politics today?
Well, we've seen an incredible polarization, and it does concern me because it seemed a few years ago that people could disagree but not be disagreeable, have different points of view, but sit down and glass of beer or something and talk as friends. It seems like now people are, if you're in disagreement with a view, a strongly held view, it's personally held, and people, threaten people's lives. And I mean, it just seems that the temperature has really been ratcheted up on people's feelings and views. And I think social media has contributed strongly to it, and certain sites that, on both sides of the aisle then have very strong views, and there isn't much room for compromise on some issues. But we're a strong country, and ultimately we do care about each other's backs, and hopefully in the next several years things will calm down again, and we'll see the middle or the moderate factions of both parties emerge, to assume more leadership. But we're going through a period right now where I think certainly not WSGW, but certain types of media reinforce people's perceptions, and with the algorithms that we've learned about on Facebook, what can happen is if you have a particular commercial enterprise now to reinforce it, and to reinforce it even more extremely with subsequent posts and things on Facebook and Instagram. So I wish I had an answer, Art, but generally when you sit down and talk to people, everybody's pretty reasonable. But on the other hand, there are, I would say more so than ever since I've been in politics, I've seen animosity and real passionate, views where people almost will come to blows over a difference of opinion.
A late friend of both of ours, Bob Traxler, once told me there were 3 Ds in politics: debate, deliberate, and decide. And it seems we've gotten away from that.
Yes, Bob was an iconic leader from this area, and I'm proud to have called him a friend. And I know that you two were very close. You, as I recall, Art used to take your show right down to Washington, and not only interview Bob but other national leaders in the Congress. And it's great that people have an opportunity through your program, especially your long time show here, that you have so many followers that appreciate you, and you highlight. You don't take positions. What you do is you have guests on that hopefully share information that will raise the level of understanding of complex issues sometimes and how to solve them. But Bob was a master. He was someone that most people who was public service would maybe idolize, would be too strong of a term, but certainly emulate Bob's style and his manner of conducting himself. I remember when I first ran for state representative, the advice that Bob gave me was, kill him with kindness, Jim. He said, no matter what,
I can hear him say it.
Everyone is entitled to review, and you have to be respectful and always be kind, and it will serve you well.
All right, hang on. We'll come back for one more segment. We're talking to Bay County Executive Jim Barcia on the Art Lewis Show. And let me ask how your sleep was last night, because today we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. Theoretically, you should spend a third of your life there. And you should get a quality sleep. And you can do it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you are using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom, serving the area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, and that's, of course, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. You can visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress.
You never know when a power outage will strike. That means you need a power source you can depend on to keep the lights and other electrical appliances working. That's why you need a Honda generator. You'll never be left in the dark with these efficient, reliable sources of Honda engines assure you hours of uninterrupted power. Put an economical, portable Honda generator to work for you. Whether it's for recreational use or as a source of emergency standby power. Take charge of any situation and let a powerful friend shed some light on things. Pour on the juice with a quiet, reliable Honda generator and get the power you need when you need it. Honda generators available now at Wolfines, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changed everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Art Lewis, did you do any pay-per-view event this weekend?
No.
No, then you didn't do this. Okay. Dave, Pat, you
Nope,
didn't?
never.
Okay.
No.
So you weren't paying to see the first ever PFC event.
PFC event.
The championship.
Oh.
For the first time ever, Steve Williams, who is the man that had a dream of turning childhood horseplay into a professional combat sport. I kid you not. There was both women's divisions and men's divisions.
Well, it's a real workout, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That is. No, it is. I remember having pillow fights in gym class. I bet you can't even do pillow fights in grade school anymore.
Can't do dodgeball. Can you do
Yeah,
pillow fights?
probably not.
Again, probably got lost with the football coverage.
Yeah. I was watching paint dry.
Oh, you better go watch out. Some pillow fighter's going to come up and teach you a lesson.
Where I'm from, if we had pillow fights, we'd probably put rocks in the pillows.
You New Yorkers.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you, spending the hour with the Bay County Executive, Jim Barcia. So, Jim, let's look at the Barcia crystal ball and look at 2022. What kind of a year is it going to be for Bay County?
Well, I think we have a lot of exciting opportunities to move forward. And if we look back at what we accomplished in the last year, Art, we had a new dental clinic that opened during COVID. And in the past year, we served 4,800 patients. That gave our dental clinic a 4.8 rating out of patient rating out of 5. We also have in terms of addressing the continuing and ongoing opioid crisis and the very high number of drug overdose deaths that are still way too high. Our racketeering and organized crime lawsuit that Bay County filed against Big Pharma resulted in a $3 million settlement, which will be parceled out, and 85% of which will be spent on prevention and treatment of drug addiction. So that's something we can look forward to, because we know when we have high rates of drug addiction, that results in higher crime rates. And whether it's breaking and enterings or robberies or other types of crime where people who are hooked on drugs have to continue to purchase those drugs in the illegal market, and we're committing regular crime to kind of feed that addiction. So that's one issue that we hope we can tamp down as we go forward through 2022. And then we have a lot of other exciting opportunities with the ARPA funding in terms of attracting talent and retaining the talent we have, with a new portal that will be modeled after Welcome West Michigan. And so we're anxious. That's a combination of the Bay Area Chamber and Bay Future and Phil Ike from Midland, who is a master at this type of thing, from helping us launch that and get more people exposed to the opportunities for hunting, fishing, recreation, and all of the other great things that we have going on in Bay County.
Let's talk about ARPA for a minute, because how much money does Bay County get from the ARPA funds?
We received $20 million, and it sounds like a huge amount of money, but it can go up pretty quickly with the amount of requests that we've been getting. It doesn't go that far, but we hope to spend it very wisely and make sure that it will have a positive impact in the years ahead, and first and foremost benefit our residents. That's what we want to do, is enhance services and the quality of the service that we can provide from local government, and as well as providing a role that we have to assume to continue to foster economic development and job creation, and make sure that we turn that decline in our population that's been projected into one of growth, as opposed to continuing to lose about 1,000 residents a year.
When do you expect some of those decisions to be made?
Well, we're in the process. As you know, I do want to thank our Board of Commissioners, each and every one of them. They have been very, very active in helping to decide how to spend this money wisely, and they hold the purse strings. So without the Board of Commissioners, there's nothing the county executive could do or could accomplish without the support of the board. So I want to thank the board for all that they've done in terms of weathering us through the last 2 years, as well as if there was any upside at all to COVID, it's the federal money that did come through that will hopefully be impactful in terms of enhancing our quality of life as we go forward. We've been through, hope you don't mind me using this expression, but we've been through hell, the last couple of years. And,
no doubt.
And hopefully we can see a brighter future here as we move forward each and every month.
Well, Jim, we've known each other a long time, and I always look forward to these conversations. I always learn something, and really appreciate you taking the time to be with us.
I love listening to your program, and I thank you for the information you impart to your huge listening audience. And I really appreciate your friendship as well. You're someone who is passionate about this region and our state and our country, and And I am a great fan of your program, and I'm honored each and every time I'm asked to be a guest. And I do appreciate the long time friendship we've had. Lots of good memories when you used to so generously donate your time to be the host at my congressional breakfast at the Saginaw Civic Center. And Vicki and I had wonderful memories of each and every one of those. And to have a star like you, host, being the MC. At
Don't get carried away now.
I'll always be grateful for. Always be grateful. No, the public really appreciates all that your passion, art, and your informative ways of helping us all get on the same page and move forward.
Well, Jim, we'll talk to you again down the road, and we thank you for being with us today. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Yes, thank you, Art, and be careful out there on the
we will.
roads if you're out.
You bet.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Yeah, thanks, Art. Bye.
Bay County Executive Jim Barcia, we thank him for his time this morning, and we thank you for being with us and listening. We'll be back to close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection.
Does this sound important to you?
Succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
For most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or for a business, all of us will be glad we took just a few minutes to get our
Or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will contests. Plan for the event of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Reif. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Check out Jerry Reif for yourself. Go to jerryreiflawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryreiflawyer.com, or call Jerry Reif at 989-790-1461.
I provide legal solutions.
Inflation just broke a nearly 40-year record thanks to Biden's out-of-control spending, and every second that goes by, you are losing more and more of your hard-earned savings. But you can fight back. Instead of letting Democrats treat your savings like their own piggy bank with trillions spent on their radical far-left agenda, you can protect what you've earned by converting your IRA or 401k into gold with Birch Gold Group. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bennett, and I'm one of Birch Gold's many happy customers. To learn how to set up your own gold IRA, get a free 20-page info kit when you text the word SHELTER to 989898. Gold-backed IRAs make it simple to ensure you're saving in a tax-sheltered account. No matter what happens in Washington, D.C., text SHELTER to 989898 right now to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There is nothing to buy. No obligation at all. Text SHELTER 989898. Take action. Do it today.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter. Germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply. And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the midnight.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio W.
And that's a wrap on the Art Lewis Show for today. We thank Jim Barcia for joining us. We thank you for joining us, too, as we always do. And I will not be here tomorrow. I have a day off tomorrow, but the guys will take care of it for you, but be it Charlie or Pat, whoever. In the meantime, stick around. We'll have Focus coming up right after the news. We'll focus on Buck Insurance today. That is ahead right after this.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kafen. Time for diplomacy may be running out as the U.S. says a Russian invasion of Ukraine appears imminent.
I'm Stephen Portnoy. President Biden says he believes the likelihood of a Russian attack on Ukraine is now very high.
My sense this will happen in the next several days.
Before departing for a trip to Ohio, Mr. Biden said it's his belief engaged in a false flag operation to create a pretext for war. While he says he has no plans to speak to Vladimir Putin, the president said a clear diplomatic path remains. The White House calls the expulsion of America's deputy ambassador to Moscow unprovoked.
Secretary of State Blinken is at the UN today for a Security Council meeting on the situation. A Russian skater under fire for failing a pre-Olympic drug test failed when the spotlight was brightest in Beijing. CBS's Steve Futterman.
From first to fourth after falling, Kamila Valieva just had a horrible free skate. And when it was over, you could see the disgust as she threw her arm out all the way. For Kamila Valieva, certainly the eyes of the world were on her, and it seemed that she was feeling the pressure.
The U.S. women's hockey team settled for silver with a 3-2 loss to Canada. A major storm system is packing snow and rain, but CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson says the big impact could be from high winds.
We have 1,900 continuous miles of wind alerts from the Houston metro area all the way up to the border with New Brunswick in Maine. That's how long the wind advisory stretch.
There's a tornado threat in parts of the South. A judge is hearing arguments today in the legal fight over whether former answer questions under oath in an investigation into his business empire. New York's Attorney General is looking to enforce subpoenas for Trump and 2 of his children. Well, Subaru is the top brand, Mazda second on an influential list of best cars.
Nissan Sentra and Rogue are new to Consumer Reports list, but auto testing chief Jake Fisher says Toyota's Prius has been on the list for 19 straight years. Tesla's now gone.
For the last couple of years, the Tesla Model 3 has been the top pick when it comes to electric vehicles. That has been replaced this year with the Ford Mustang Mach-E.
Honda's Accord and Ridgeline and Kia's Telluride on Consumer Reports top 10 list. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
Mortgage rates jumped last week to a level not seen since 2019. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says the average on a 30-year loan hit 3.92%. Wall Street, the Dow is down 400 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan. Tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Here's NFL legend Terry Bradshaw.
This is it. Your last chance to win big money from Publishers Clearinghouse.
There are just days left to enter to win $5,000 a week forever on February 28th.
Yep, you got to enter before it's too late.
Win and you get $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life.
Real people really win. It's your last chance to enter, people. Come on, let's go. $5,000 a week forever. Last chance. Enter now at PCH.com.
Entries due 2/26. No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
We're growing. Stopped working weekends thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready. .com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 30 degrees and 11:05. Good morning. I'm Lynn Williams. Liaisons from the CDC were welcomed by the Saginaw Public School Board of Education, hoping to improve the district's already improving COVID. USGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Superintendent Dr. Ramont Roberts says the district has had roughly 120 cases since the beginning of the new year, most of which were connected to winter break and were late returning to school, and has not had to close any building due to the virus or staffing shortages so far this school year. Dr. Roberts says the matter has been handled so well that the school only reported 2 days total that it had fallen beneath state admission funding requirements.
We're fortunate. That's a tribute to our staff, to our parents, our students, in fighting through this thing and making certain that we make educating our kids a priority. We're fortunate that we've only had 2 days under the attendance threshold, and extremely fortunate that we have not had to shut down school because it was in shortages.
The 3 liaisons, 2 from the CDC and 1 from the Saginaw County Health Department, will focus on helping the district with COVID-19 contact tracing and testing through July, allowing staff and administrators to cover other areas that have needed attention since the beginning of the pandemic. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
As COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations continue to decline in the state health department is withdrawing its advisory for masking indoors, including schools. Here's more from Dr. Deanna Lights.
This is being called the post-surge recovery phase, where there's no immediate resurgence of the virus predicted. During this phase, the state health department recommends, regardless of vaccination status, continue to practice universal masking in high-risk crowded settings, including long-term care facilities and healthcare facilities. Masking is also recommended during isolation and quarantine periods to stop further community spread of COVID-19. School districts should consider what's happening in their area and work with their local health departments to determine mask policies.
And that was Dr. Deanna Lights. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you.
I had a member who received an email that a reputable company that she works with was going to take a large amount of money out of her account. She was panicked and upset, and I walked her through what she needed to do, told her the exact steps to do, and that I would keep an eye on her account. So she followed all of my instructions to the letter. And then a company that charged her account was aware that it was a scam, and they gladly and apologetically assured her that everything would be just fine and the money would not come out of her account. So she was very grateful.
Saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out. Click or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. A nurse employed at the Saginaw County Jail was fired for letting an inmate touch her inappropriately. 42-year-old Kelly Jo Wright of Bay City is charged with second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a prisoner. Police say the incident took place January 10th after 2021, after a surveillance video caught the act. Police became suspicious of Wright after male inmates began requesting to see her as their let the inmates touch her in a sexual manner. The 29-year-old inmate, whom Wright is accused of having inappropriate contact with, is not being charged. Wright, an employee of a medical company subcontracted to provide service to the jail called Vital Core Health Strategies, was fired immediately following the incident, though a warrant for her arrest wasn't issued until more than a year later on February 3rd. She's currently out on bond and has a preliminary hearing on March 2nd. Police in Genesee County are investigating the death of a Millington man as a homicide. 22-year-old Jesse Loomis was found Tuesday night at a residence in the 14,000 block of Barcia Road in Thetford Township. Police responded to the location after a 911 caller reported someone needing medical assistance outside the home. Loomis was pronounced dead at the scene. There's no suspect information. Police are asking anyone who has knowledge about the incident to call state police, Flint Post, or Crime Stoppers. The Linden Police Department is investigating a Flint police officer. That officer, who was not identified, was removed from duty for undisclosed reasons and placed on unpaid administrative leave. The Flint Police Department is conducting its own internal investigation. Authorities say a southwestern Michigan man faces prison time and can no longer hunt in the state after pleading guilty to charges stemming from illegal deer poaching. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources said Wednesday that 33-year-old Justin Ernst of Decatur pleaded guilty in Van Buren County to 1 count each of possession of a firearm and obtaining a hunting license when ineligible, and 3 counts of illegal taking and possessing white-tailed deer. He was charged last year after DNR officials seized 9 trophy white-tail bucks from a bar. His plea agreement includes a sentence of between 18 months and 5 years in state prison. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:11. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory is in effect for the forecast area. We'll see a few scattered snow showers here for today. Otherwise, cloudy sky conditions. Temperatures steady early, then slowly fall through the day. North winds are on 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. For tonight, a chance for some snow showers here, about an inch possible to accumulate. Cloudy skies, a low near 10 above. Partial sunshine develops, high of 26 degrees. Then by Saturday, partly sunny skies, breezy, high around 23. Sunday, partial sunshine again, breezy, high of 43. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 30.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online w.com.
Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW. From my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, I'm Art Lewis, and Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax, and remember it's spelled with 2 X's. And today we talk insurance with our friend Ken Buck from Buck Insurance in Freeland. Ken, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
I think most people know that in their auto insurance policy, a component of it is liability. And in many homeowners' policies, you may find some liability coverage. But how does one know if they have enough? How do you determine how much liability insurance you should have?
Well, for most people, especially homeowners insurance policies, you should carry a minimum of $1 million homeowners policy, because for most people, you have maybe $5-10 difference in a premium between having $100,000 liability, $300,000 liability, and $1 million liability. So it's really inexpensive to purchase additional liability insurance, because you never know when. Well, 20/20 hindsight, you could know how much liability insurance you need, because if you're sued for $5 million and you only have $300,000 worth of liability coverage, then you know you don't have enough. But for people that have assets, that have homes, that have retirement accounts, that cars and toys and other things, you really need to talk about is getting as much liability insurance as you can on the underlying policies and possibly looking at an umbrella too.
We'll talk. We're going to talk about that, but I have to ask a couple of questions here as you talk.
Sure.
You said like maybe a $10 difference in the various levels of coverage in the homeowner's policy. Is that also true in the auto policy? Can you buy greater increases?
Buy up to usually $1 million per accident on your auto policy. Well, with a home, you have one home, so that's to increase the premium. So if you have 5 cars on your policy and it costs $10 each car, that's a $50 increase. So it's a little bit different with auto policies. You have multiple autos on there, but it's really quite inexpensive to increase the liability insurance on your underlying auto policy too.
All right, so and we want to make sure we understand that liability insurance is the liability on your auto policy only covers automobile accidents and what happens in the car, right? As opposed to any other liability you may have. And your homeowner's liability doesn't cover the liability in your car, does it?
That's correct. The auto liability covers the ownership, use, loading, and unloading of an automobile. So we had a claim where the little lady asked a neighbor to unload stuff from her trunk, and it's icy, and he fell unloading that from the item fell on top of him, and he injured his back. So he sued her for liability on her auto policy for his injuries.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I got to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to talk about the umbrella policy and what that umbrella covers and how you determine the amounts of it. All ahead with Ken Buck here on WSGW. Let me talk to you about Krizak's House Family Restaurant. Proud to be a business that serves this area with the finest in dining and takeout services. Grateful for all of you who have supported them over the many, many, many years. They look forward to serving all of you once again. Every day takeout day at Krizak's, today from 11 to 7, Friday and Saturday from 11 to 8. Krizak's House Family Restaurant at the corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. For takeouts, reservations, parties, events, and information, 894-5531. And we'll also tell you that Fat Tuesday is coming March 1st, and we will be up at Krizak's from about 5 in the morning right through about 12:30 in the afternoon to help celebrate Fat Tuesday with all of their celebrations. We will be back with Ken Buck right after these notes.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 6751.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Recently, I was working with a member to purchase an auto loan and saw an opportunity to help them save some money. By refinancing their credit card debt, we were able to save them over $600 a month. This is one of the many ways that we deliver outstanding service to our members.
Delivering marvelous experiences, saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. These are actual examples of savings and not guaranteed in every situation.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer? A big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data in unlimited carryover on America's largest. Now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TrackPhone.com.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Michigan will Thursday night, the Maize and Blue host the Iowa Hawkeyes in a Big Ten battle in Ann Arbor. Listen Wednesday night as the Wolverines try to get back in the win column with coverage beginning at 6:30 p.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW. Go Blue!
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we're back on Focus, talking to Ken Buck from Buck Insurance in Freeland about liability insurance and liability policies, like the umbrella policy.
Asset protection.
Whoops. Hang on a minute. We didn't mean to do that. Let me ask this, Ken. We hear the term umbrella policy. When I think of an umbrella, it covers me. If I get an umbrella policy, does it also cover me, for example, in that automobile? Is it in addition to what the automobile liability provides?
That's exactly what an umbrella policy has. If you imagine you and your significant other and your kids all standing out in the rain, and then you open a large umbrella, and then that keeps everyone dry out of the rain, that's exactly what an umbrella does, is it protects you with an additional amount of liability on your home, on your auto, if you have a motorcycle, on your motorcycles, on your boats, and all different things. Now, also, it gives you broader coverage in that your auto policy only covers you for accidents that happen in the United States, Canada, or its territories or possessions, where an umbrella policy gives you coverage for liability worldwide. Also, let's say, for instance, that I go and rent a boat on vacation. I currently, so I don't have boat liability on my homeowner's policy. So then I get in an accident with the boat that I caused while I'm on vacation, and I get sued for injuries to someone else because I'm driving the boat on vacation. Maybe it's an unfamiliar boat, and I don't have boat liability insurance on my on my homeowner's policy because I don't have a boat. An umbrella policy would pick up that coverage.
So, is it costly to have that umbrella policy?
It's a lot less expensive than 1 hour of attorney's fees. Because whether or not you're actually responsible for something, you can be sued for anything.
Right.
For most people, and then an umbrella policy also, and liability insurance on your policies also gives you defense costs, attorney's fees, court costs, and any amounts that you're legally obligated to pay in a court settlement, so that for most people it's between $180 to $250 a year for that insurance, and then it gives you $1 million additional coverage. And if you're sued for anything, for instance, let's say you or that lives with you posts a photo on a social networking website, somebody takes offense to that photo, and they sue you for personal injury. That, in a lot of cases, is not covered under a homeowner's policy, but that would be picked up under most umbrella policies.
So, we go back to the dollars again. How do I know how many dollars of umbrella coverage I need?
The more assets you have, the more umbrella coverage you need. Because that's what you're kind of doing is, if I don't own anything, no one can take anything from me. They can get a judgment against me in court, and that judgment could go through bankruptcy, so that if I ever get an inheritance, if I ever make money, they can garnish those wages or that asset, so that for most people, they need to talk about $1 million liability under their base policies and another at least $1 million umbrella policy. So then they have $2 million at least, and 3 umbrella policies are not uncommon anymore because people sue for anything and everything, and the sky's the limit when they file a lawsuit.
It's an interesting comment you made. We don't want to get into the legal area because neither of us are lawyers, but if I'm sued for more than I'm worth, and I declare bankruptcy, does that suit hang around after bankruptcy, or is it dismissed? Is it discharged?
Again, I'm not an attorney, but in most cases, judgments this pass through bankruptcy.
So it's still there.
I'll go for that forever. Yeah.
All right. So someone comes in and they want an umbrella policy. You sit down with them, you do all the details and what they need and all of that. Are the umbrella policies easy to get? Are there qualifications for them?
If you have a DUI or other really bad driving history, chances are you're not going to be able to get an umbrella because you're a really high risk. But for pretty much everyone else, it's really simple to get an umbrella. You stop in and you talk to your lawyer and you tell them what you have. You've got a home, you've got an auto, you've got a motorcycle, you've got a boat, you got a jet ski, you've got a snowmobile. So each one of those things, when you have a base policy, most companies it's between $150 and $200 for the base policy. Then they charge an additional maybe $5, $10 for a year for each motorcycle or boat you have, and then each auto you have, and each additional location you have. So if you have a cottage or 2 cottages, then that's sometimes a small additional fee, but it's really inexpensive.
So if they want to talk to you, where are you located and how do they get a hold of you?
They can 989-695-2525. Stop by my office in Freeland on Midland Road, or they can email me at ken@buckinsurance.com, or my website is www.buckinsurance.com.
Easy to remember. All right, Ken, we'll talk again. Always
Thank you
interesting.
very much, Art.
Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.
Thanks. Bye.
Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. We thank him for being with us today, and we will be back to close out after these notes.
Does this sound important to you?
Succession planning for the family business, elder law.
Most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or for a business, all of us will be